All right, everyone, welcome to the Pokeshop BST podcast, episode 8. We're joined as always with Woody, the owner of the Pokeshop and Missing No Games, and Goose, Pokemon expert extraordinaire. And my name is Homero, and we always start with the news. And for the beginning of the news this week, I thought we would start with NAIC Storytime with Goose. How was NAIC?
I played like dog water. I didn't play very good. But I mean, I didn't lose the entire time, so that's fine, I guess. But no, my results were not great. I did a lot better at Milwaukee.
Was the competition more just tougher in general?
Yeah, and I had a lot of bad luck. I had Chiyu miss Heatwave on a Calyrex twice in a row. Wow. Calyrex Ice twice in a row. And I was pretty upset about that.
Oh, that kind of bring you back for a couple turns if you miss.
I had one game that I would have won that one of my Pokemon my Koraidon was paralyzed, and I wasn't sure if it would outspeed the other Pokemon or not. And it would have, but I clicked protect twice because it was going to die from a burn. So I thought well, I have a chance this way, but it turns out I actually would have been faster. So if I had just clicked an attacking move, it would have been fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
But
it still would have had to get through the paralyzed, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I didn't get paralyzed from the protect, so it would have still gotten through it. But it's a shame. I had fun though. I did some side events. I did Chaos Cup, which is where you have you get given a team. And you get, there was a bunch of different rules. Like the first one, you couldn't Terra. The second one, you had to switch a Pokemon out every single turn.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was kind of goofy.
Nice.
But
that was doubles?
Yeah, yeah. VGC is always played in doubles.
I didn't know. It sounded like they might have a single battle one for that one. Just because the stipulations.
They have, VGC is always played in doubles.
I play Showdown a lot, so I play singles all day. Yeah. Do the gauntlet. I just go through every
I mostly just use Showdown to practice.
Yeah. I like Ranbat.
Yeah. I used to use it a lot. I don't know. It bothers me that not all the sprites are consistent. Yeah. Like with the Gen 9 Pokemon, they're not updated. It's just like a picture, and you have the other ones moving around in their model.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. It bothers me.
It's enough for me to think about without worrying about the sprites because it's complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's enough to think about already.
Yeah.
We went out partying on Bourbon Street, and there was a lady that ripped my Skyla wig off my head.
Really? What the heck?
Yeah, she just walked up to me and stared at me like she had a problem with me.
Wow.
And she had a little hair clip in her hair, and I was like, "Oh, I like your little flower hair clip," because I didn't know what to say to her.
Sure.
And
she just snatched.
She just snatched the wig off my head and threw it back at me.
What the heck?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, but other than that, I had fun. Went out. I was dancing as Nurse Joy. I have a video of that. I could send it to you. I was up dancing as Nurse Joy because the guy doing the DJ. No, he wasn't DJing. He was just the hype man. He was like, "Is that Nurse Joy?" Because when I go out at night, I put my cosplays on to last. I stick my wig to my head, bobby pin it down. I waterproof my makeup. It's not going anywhere until I go to bed.
That's what I was worried about. When you said she snatched the wig, I thought you might have it clipped on in your hair. Oh my God.
I did. It kind of hurt.
She must have really yanked it.
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
That was douchey of her.
Yeah. So that was probably the worst part. Worse than my record.
Worse than my record.
Yeah. But I still had a good time regardless.
That's good.
That's good.
I got to see a lot of friends.
Nice.
Make new friends. I got interviewed for this YouTube video that came out really cool.
I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
You're the first clip.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was the thumbnail too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good time.
Awesome.
But now I'm back here, back home, chilling.
Yep, made it back safe and sound.
Yep.
That's good. The NAIC is also more fun because the final day is just all finals games or semifinals and finals games, I think.
Yeah.
So that was like the most fun day to watch because it's just straight feature matches, and they
Right,
go
right.
from one game to the next, you know. So they went from TCG straight into the next thing, and you get to see juniors, seniors, and masters
play,
in
yeah.
all the different games. So that is, I think, the best part of the ICs is that you get
Yeah.
to see a lot more features.
Terrapagos Koraidon won
Really?
Masters VGC, yeah.
Wow.
Which I haven't seen that have a lot of huge tournament success before. So that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that was something that I learned. We're going to go through a TCG recap next in the news. That's something that I learned from the TCG is like the top 8 had a lot more innovation in the deck for this specific tournament. And that's really what set their decks apart was the tech that they used for this specific tournament. It's not just like a straight net deck from some previous tournament.
Sure,
it's
sure.
tailor-made for this specific meta. So we'll go into the TCG recap. The first shout I want to give out is to Ray Chen, who went undefeated through day 1 with Toad Scroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
They only dropped one single game for the entire day 1.
Wow.
And went undefeated all the way with Toad Scroll. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with what that card does, but that's interesting for sure.
Yeah,
you don't hear a lot about Toad Scroll. So.
That was an outside one. So she did really well.
It has an ability, right? I don't remember what it does.
It does. I'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Editor home row here. I didn't know how to articulate this deck in the moment, but basically it uses Teal Mask Overpawn to power out grass energy onto all your grass Pokemon here. And then Toad Scroll EX hits pretty hard, and the regular Toad Scroll stops things like Night Stretcher, Super Rod, and Levincia, and my favorite Ace Spec, Max Rod. And when you play a full playset of 4 bug catching set, it looks like any grass tech could be good, but this one is the best, I think. But she prized a bunch of her necessary cards in her semifinals match, I think it was.
Sure,
Maybe it wasn't semifinals, but in top cut. So that was unfortunate. And she was up against I think it was against that game was against Tord Reklev. And then the juniors finals, we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
The juniors finals was super cool. Brother and sister versus each
huge.
other.
That was awesome.
Kenji and Annabelle Ono.
And Annabelle ended up taking the victory.
Wow. Yep. And they
were happy for each other.
They were.
How are you feeling right now? What's next for your Pokemon career?
I'm feeling really happy for Annabelle.
They were playing a mirror match, but their list of 60 wasn't exactly the same.
Sure.
Yeah, I got to meet their parents in Milwaukee briefly.
Awesome.
Because Kenji was playing in the finals in Milwaukee as well against the kid who won the juniors champion in Milwaukee is from Madison, so kind of local.
I see. Cool.
That's cool, defending the home turf.
Yep. So we took it home in Milwaukee, but Kenji was in the finals there as well, so he's having a really good season. And they were on Charizard Dragapult versus each other. That was a really good match. And like you said, the sportsmanship that they showed, I think, went across the entire event. Like that's the way everyone treats each other. So much good sportsmanship throughout the entire event. For the seniors finals, it was Omar Cortez versus Gabriel Fernandez. Omar was on Dragapult, and Gabriel Fernandez was on Charizard Pidgeot. And Gabriel won, which really gives him what is pretty undisputedly the best season in Pokemon TCG history by a lot. He Grand Slammed international championships, so he won 3 international championships this year.
Wow.
It's the casters called it the most perfect season the game has ever known. He won Latin America, the European, and the NAIC championship.
Holy.
Wow. What a guy.
Yeah, good for him.
So that is amazing. And he was also super humble at the end. Just everyone thanks their teammates and their play testers and their parents in this case.
Yeah.
And all that. And he even thanked like other people's parents who helped him get to events and stuff.
Oh yeah, nice.
Because he's traveling all over the world, as a senior. So that was yeah, I think that's the best season. That's the best season you could possibly have.
Oh yeah,
in
100%.
the
That'd be
TCG.
right.
And
I'll be happy to win a local, and these guys are
yeah,
crushing worlds. You
yeah,
know,
that's
so
totally
Yeah.
unprecedented. So congratulations to Gabriel Fernandez. And then the Masters finals was I predicted a Gardevoir showdown. It's Gardevoir Monkey Dory versus Gardevoir Monkey Dory.
Mhm.
Riley McKay versus Isaiah Bradner, and Isaiah Bradner ended up winning. And one interesting thing from the post match is he said he forgot to wear his watch, and the final game went to time.
sure.
So as it was going to time, he said he was having to peek at his opponent's watch to see how much time he had left. So that's like maybe a little TCG tip. That's why so many TCG players wear a watch.
Wear a watch.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
but
I
not a
wasn't
smartwatch. You'll notice. 'Cause
Sure,
you can't have
sure.
like notifications popping up or
Mhm,
whatever. But
mhm.
you'll see a lot of TCG players wearing like a Casio watch.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
just to get the time.
Yep. So there was a lot of Gardevoir again. Gardevoir is now possibly in standard the most winningest card ever.
Sure.
It has crossed the $1 million in prizing. That's fine. It's crossed. That's decks
made
with
over $1
Gardevoir
million
have won over $1 million in
total.
competition.
In prizes. And
Yeah. So possibly the most successful standard card of all time at this point. And yeah, the thing I wrote next is that was about the sportsmanship, and through the whole competition, it really felt like one big like Pokemon family.
sure.
There's no like hard feelings, from any of the games that I saw. And my favorite player spotlight that they did was Tord Reklev. He's like the GOAT of the TCG,
Mhm.
So he's been training in Japan and China, and he explained it so well that in Japan he gets to play in the future, and in China they're playing in the past, which is why we got all those like Evolving Skies
Sure.
EVs.
I see.
So China's playing in the past because they're getting a lot of the old sets brought into the TCG.
Yeah.
And there is like a scene there playing it. And then he plays in the middle in the present moment at all the competitions.
Yeah.
So
That's the life to have, man. Just traveling around, playing Pokemon, all different formats, all different languages. He's like a Pokemon ambassador.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And his deck was really cool too. He plays 4 bosses orders, which I really like, 4 professors research, and 4 I forget, but 4 professors research and 4 bosses orders. So I really like that about the deck. The next part of the news, I just heard this, is that at Worlds there will be a Pokemon Pocket Open championship.
I saw that.
So they announced that just the other day, and
it's still technically not a main event.
It's not a main event, but it's still an open championship.
And it's got that double deck format.
Yeah, with double deck format. And unfortunately, they announced that like
really
after
late?
it's sold out.
I see.
So you can't like attend with to play that after you heard about it.
Right.
I don't know if they did that on purpose or not.
So they're only like the only people that
you need a ticket already.
Right, that already has a ticket could possibly sign up for that.
Yeah, and I think it's on Saturday afternoon too. So
sure.
if you're in the event and
then you can't really play, right?
Play it, yeah. But it's nice to see Pocket getting support at the big tournaments, and that's August 15th through the 17th in Anaheim, California. And then there's a couple other little pieces of news. Project Voltage is coming out and being released. That's the Hatsune Miku collab. So that's cool. It's like 17, I think, songs with with their own artwork and they're themed around a specific Pokemon. Yeah, so that's really cool. And then
or at least a certain type.
Certain type,
a certain type of Pokemon.
Yeah. And then the last piece of news is the Gotta Catch 'Em All game show, which is going to be going on Twitch. That's going to start on Friday, June 27th. So it's an official Pokemon game show.
What?
I would be
Yeah.
so good at that.
I know, that's what I have written down. You have to get on that show. We have to get Goosephone on the game show.
Do we gotta apply? How do we do it?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to get Goose on this show because
Yeah.
you will kill it. So the way it works is it's trivia, multiple choice. I think 4 choices, and if you win the question, it will come with a corresponding Pokemon. You need 4 victory Pokemon to win. So some of the questions will have a victory Pokemon, which is Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, and Pikachu. So you need those 4 to win, and then the Pokemon that you win through answering the question correctly have an effect. So you can have 6 Pokemon on your team at once, and then you can use their effects. So there will be supportive effects and like mischievous effects.
That's kind of interesting how you have a team that affects the results of the game show.
Right.
Yes, and then there's
pretty...
also Magikarp, which is like the mystery Pokemon. It doesn't do anything, but they're saying maybe if you have a bunch of them, it will do something.
Sure.
It might evolve
Maybe
into
you
a
can evolve
Gyarados
it.
if you have
if
you answer like 6.
Gyarados or something.
Yeah, if you have like 6 magic, your whole team is Magikarps, maybe you'll get a Gyarados or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we got to get Goosephone on the Gotta Catch 'Em All game show.
Is that game show in the States?
It's on Twitch, I think.
Oh,
so,
I know, but like where they're
Are they filming it in person?
Yeah,
I think it might be through. You might be able to do it through webcam. You might be able to compete from.
Oh,
home.
I see. So it's just strictly through Twitch,
I'm not sure.
and so you don't have to go anywhere. So you just
That's my speculation, but they didn't show any footage of a studio
Sure.
or anything yet. They could have a studio. I don't know.
That'd be
We'll
cool.
find out. That's coming up June 27th. So
That's soon.
very soon. So
That's
we will
very soon.
tune in and watch, and then we gotta get Goose on the show. Yeah,
That would be fun.
that would be super fun. I think you would win. Then the next segment of the podcast is the check-in, and I only wrote down one word, but I thought a lot about this over the past week. Is authenticity.
Mhm.
So just how to be authentic and how beneficial that is for your own well-being. What do you think?
Wait, what?
Authenticity. That's the one word I wrote down. How important
Being authentic to yourself?
To yourself, yeah.
Well, that's what Pokemon is all about, right? Because we always used to get bullied for this stuff. So it's all about being true to yourself, representing the kind of Pokemon that you like, the generation that you like. Everyone has their own individual tastes and preferences, whether they want to play the card game, the video game, just Pocket or Go or anything. You need to be authentic to yourself to be able to show how you love Pokemon and how it shapes you as a person.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, as a kid, you really liked the Pokemon, but then some of your friends will bully you for it or whatever. And if you were authentic to yourself, then you would have kept on collecting, kept on doing what you do. But instead, you might have kind of took a left turn, and which kind of set you back, right, from collecting all these really cool cards. So I mean, that's being authentic to yourself, being true to yourself is really, really important for sure.
Yeah, I think that's something the Pokemon community does well too, is protecting each other's authenticity. You don't because everyone knows what it's like to get picked on, so you don't let other people in the community pick on each other, and you don't let people from outside the community, 100%. I guess, pick on people from within it. So I think that's one of the most important things in life that we didn't really learn. That wasn't really like a pillar of education or anything like that when we were growing up. Maybe people would say that it was just unwritten, taken for granted, that of course you should just be yourself, but I don't actually think that's the case. I think
it's easier to not be yourself sometimes and just try and do what everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's some age-old sayings and phrases about it, but it wasn't really focused on as a core pillar of like mental health, I wouldn't say, until more recently.
Sure.
So that's just my encouragement to everyone out there, to be authentic to yourself. The next segment is hashtag not financial advice. And I wanted to know if you've ever got some hashtag not financial advice that has actually helped you in life. So what sort of things have people told you about finance or money that you actually took to heart and practiced? For me, I'll go first. For me, it's wait until you can afford two of something before you buy it. So if you're saving up for something, just save twice as much and then get it.
Nice.
This has come back to bite me a few times, but if you're not sure if you want to buy something and you end up walking away from it, if you're still thinking about it like days after, then you should just go buy it. But some things you're not going to have a chance to go get again, like if you're traveling,
Sure.
or stuff like that. So
Or sometimes it's a really rare item, and when you try to go back and purchase it, it's not there
it'll be
anymore.
gone.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
picked it up already.
Yeah,
Me-
but it's like if you want to walk away from something and you're still thinking about it days after, just go buy it. But if you're not, try not to do too much impulse purchases.
Right. For me personally, I'm like first generation. Like I'm the first one in my family to own a business, so I didn't really get any like a guidance or anything. So I mean, even till this day, I'm always learning new stuff and making mistakes and learning just learning every day. Everything, every morning when I get up, there's something something new going on, something good or bad. I mean, there's always something going on. People trying to shit on you all the time. And it's just, what I mean? Like you kind of have to deal with it, learn how to deal with it. So um I do have like some friends and like cousins who kind of you know gave me like the overall way of just business in general. Like this is what you're gonna like a contract, or like this is how you look at contracts, or these types of companies are the ones you're gonna need to open a storefront, whether it be like a credit card processing company or this or that. I mean, just small little tips and tricks here and there, but otherwise it's still um, ongoing learning every day.
Yeah, I think that's the best approach to business and life
Oh
is
yeah,
just
for
to
sure.
continue learning every single day.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you think you have some sort of secret knowledge that is just one shot and you know.
Right. And a lot of people come up to me, how do you do it? How do you become so successful? I'm like, I don't know. I just, what I mean? I don't have a secret, what I mean? Like I just wake up every day, be positive and try to take care of business, what I
You
mean?
keep working.
Yeah, you just keep working
keep
your butt
setting
off.
goals.
Keep working your butt off, and there is no secret to it. And I've seen a couple of shorts recently. But the guy that always be asking like billionaires, like
Yeah.
what is the secret to your success, or
Yeah.
any tips or tricks, and these guys are saying the same thing. What I mean? Like they don't know. They just keep doing what they know how to do, and they build this big empire. What I mean? And same goes to you guys, and you just gotta um, keep at it, I guess. Whatever interest, whatever hobby, whatever business you're looking to grow. Just kind of um, focus on that. Focus on yourself for a little bit, and maybe you'll get there. Maybe you won't. What I mean? And it is, and that's part of the process. You get up and you try it again. What I mean? So
Yeah, I
There's some
see
people that
oh, yeah,
just
go on.
don't make it. That like, even though how matter how hard they try, owning a business is hard. There's a lot of costs to keep up with.
right.
You got to pay employees. You got to pay rent. You got to buy inventory and hope that the value doesn't depreciate after you bought it too much. There's a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot. And sometimes like what works for me not might work for the next person, vice versa, like so it's hard for me to like, hey Woody, what's the secret sauce? And I'm like, I can't. There's no, there's I can give you like the general like steps, but ultimately it comes down to what and when you do stuff on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing that I've been focusing on a little bit that I think when I focus on it, it works out well for me is time management. So I see myself having 16 hours to work a day, and then making sure that that is all being used proportionately.
Sure.
That helps my overall progress feel smoother, and it gives, with multiple different things going on, it gives the next day it's a more clear path of what's going to happen the next day.
Sure.
So I don't feel like I have to maybe get everything done all in one day, because that's just not going to happen. But yeah, like you said, there's no one secret. All different things. And then that kind of segues into the next segment that I bring back that I don't do every week, which is you teach me and I teach you. So I just wanted to send an invitation out to other content creators. You can contact me personally at homeroad.gg if you want to talk about content. There's one content strategy or just an aspect of making content called the content buckets. And we have a lot of buckets. And then there's another thing called accordion. So we're going to accordion down this week. I'm going to ask you guys some more similarly themed questions. So the next week of shorts will be all similarly themed.
Sure.
But we have a lot of different buckets, and I'll just go over some of them. Stuff that's expensive, a winner versus, where I ask you something and then ask you the next thing,
the next
who
one
wins,
will-
who
sure.
wins. And then Pokemon facts, which Goose is the best at. Business, which we have Woody. And then stuff where we point and shoot in real life when we're at events. We have top fives. New releases are important because those just keep rolling, and those will always be hot. It's almost like news. News is in there too. Crossovers, which happen sometimes, and then hypotheticals that just come into my brain from nowhere. So those are an example of all the different content buckets that we have, that we try in short form. Short form content is massively taking over the overall sphere of video content. It's way more than 50% of all the view time is in short form content.
I feel the same.
Yeah,
I feel
think
the
it's over
same. When I
60%.
see myself and even my kids, like they're always just scrolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this longer video. You know what I mean?
The short form ones are the ones that I more actively watch, but long form ones, like I'll put in a lot of like Jark Chomp collectibles or Coops collectibles, like vendor POVs in the background that are like an hour to an hour and a half long. And that's my like long form content that I typically consume. But sometimes I'm just scrolling on my phone, watching shorts.
It'd be all random stuff too. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you'll get a little stretch where, okay, it's all similar, and then boom, 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 all these.
It's easier for people to interact with too, because
Right.
they can point out something in the video since it's so short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always want more long form content from the creators that I watch, but they're making as much as they can.
Yeah, right.
But I watch a lot of long form.
It's not as
stuff. I like long
sustainable,
form.
at least for financially.
I think it's easier to get
purposes.
sponsorships and stuff though on long form. It's harder to get
Yeah, that's
sponsorships on
true.
short form videos. So.
That's very true.
So that's just my invitation out there. If anyone wants to brainstorm or anything like that, you can give me, just drop me a DM. And the next segment is Pack Battle, and we have Black Bolt and White Flare. These are the 7-card packs.
Oh, they're Japanese, but they're still 7 cards?
Yeah, so these are, it's an enhanced booster box for this one, and the deluxe one is the jumbo one.
The one you opened earlier
So-
was like the jumbo pack.
Yeah,
These
the
are just
35.
these are just the regular ones.
Okay.
opposite of. They're more like the 151, like a deluxe style or an enhanced style.
Come on, I need a. This is the set that we're gonna get every card in the IR, right?
Yeah, every single card has an illustration or an art.
Is there a trick to this?
I haven't watched too many people open.
I don't think so.
You're just gonna go right from the front. You go ahead.
All right, we got cling, clang, lang, lang.
Yeah, was that semi-seer? No,
We got.
pan-seer.
So this is clink, and then this is cling, clang,
Golurk.
and then I got Yamask.
You got a bug.
I got a Pokeball bug.
I got a what it is like rainbow energy Pokeball pattern.
Yeah, got a holographic Tornadus.
Me too. No, mine's
That's
a Thundurus.
Thundurus.
Mine's a Thundurus.
Got Archon
You got a
and a Clown.
Pokemon Doctor.
That's Fennel.
Oh. And we got Excadrill. Who is this? No,
That's Scavalier.
that's Excavalier.
Nice.
No
I
hits.
think I don't know. I think this is a tie between the Tornadus and the Thundurus, but
Yeah.
the Thundurus is super effective against Tornadus. So maybe you win.
Oh really?
Maybe you win that
Yes.
one. I don't know. Sure.
Finally,
we'll
I
take
win.
it. We'll take it.
Finally, I win against Goose, guys.
Yeah. And we have both different kinds of booster boxes in the store now.
Yes,
Yep.
we do.
So the enhanced with the jumbo packs, which are super fun, with an AR in every single pack, and then you get a guaranteed secret rare in the box of the enhanced boosters.
I think the jumbo ones are the way to go.
Yeah, I think,
think
so
so,
too.
too.
They're really fun.
They're not that much more,
Yeah.
and you're guaranteed, you know,
Something.
AR in every pack. Shoot,
Mhm.
And I think there was the EX in every pack too.
right?
Yeah,
The
I think
regular
it
EX.
seemed like there was. Yeah.
EX or better. I
And
would
then
say,
a bunch
yeah.
of hollows and a bunch of bulk. So if you're master setting too, you get about the same amount of cards. I think you get the same number of cards, but yeah, you get more guarantees. In
And I believe this is the first time Japan's doing this.
It is first time
for their
jumbo
booster
packs.
boxes. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they kind of adopted it from
China.
From China, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're successful. I have a box of 151 Hope Jumbo that I haven't opened
really?
yet.
Nice.
So I'm excited to open that. And that
Is
brings
that in
us.
Chinese?
Yeah, that's in Chinese. Yeah, that's the second one. So there's gonna be 4 151 sets. There's the first one that's Collect. The second one is Hope with Psyduck. The third one is gonna be Surprise featuring Gengar on the Pikachu AR. And the fourth one is called Gathering, which is pretty funny because it's like Magic the Gathering.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So it's 151 Gathering, and then that AR has like a bunch of Pikachus on it, like 10
Nice.
different Pikachus
Nice.
all on the same card. And they're releasing those all throughout the course of this year.
Nice.
So the Gengar one will be like in the fall, which will make sense, and then Collect will be Gathering will be at the end of the year, in Chinese releases, and they have a bunch of other releases going on too. We don't touch on those in the news all the time because it's almost like its own release schedule.
Sure.
They have a lot of good releases. But that brings us to the last segment of the podcast already. It's hashtag Ask Woody, hashtag Ask Goosephone. If you want to leave a comment with the hashtag Ask Woody or the hashtag Ask Goosephone, we will get to your questions on the air. We have 3 of them today. The first one's from Zyno57. It says, so this one is just vibes. What song from Pokemon that you really like? What is a song from Pokemon that you really like, but doesn't get brought up often? For me, it's either Sada and Turo's theme, despite how controversial Scarlet and Violet is. Says, I adored the music by the end.
For me, I guess it's gonna be the SS Anne from Pokemon Red and Blue.
Ooh.
I like how it sounds a lot like Canon and D. And it doesn't get brought up a lot, even though it is a Gen 1 song, but it's just a really beautiful tune.
I'm not too familiar with the music from, but there's one song that I really like. It's Johto. Is it Orange Islands or Johto, like the beginning theme song of that, and it's one of my favorite songs.
Orange Islands is the one that's like, so you want to be an Astro Pokemon?
Yeah, right.
And then Johto is like, do 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 do.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that one. I love that song, and yeah, I mean, I haven't heard it for a very long time until you started singing it now. But
yeah, the Johto theme song.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Pokemon theme songs. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And for me, I'm gonna give a shout out to the 2.2 million view video that's been stuck in my head for a month and a half. Little Root Town video by Mason C Music on TikTok. Every single day that song is stuck in my head now.
I can play that on the ocarina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that one's been stuck in my head. I also really like the big band versions. Those are really fun. So they do Pokemon Center theme song and the Battle theme song. And in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra does Pokemon music concert with the video game on the screen.
I've seen that,
Yeah.
the Symphonic Evolution.
Yep.
I've seen that before. I didn't like that they did the Reggie song slow.
Oh, did
The
they?
dun, 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 dun. They did it really slow, and I didn't like it.
I'm sure they change it. I'm sure they could change it year by year, but you could give them some consult possibly. Yeah, I got to work at that event one year, long time ago.
Cool.
Yeah, I used to work for the Pabst in Riverside and Turner Hall. That was a fun job. The next question is from Beastmaster Max, and it says, what was your first ever cards from the TCG, and do you still have them?
I still have my first cards from the TCG. Mine are just like base set. You know, I did have a Charizard. I had 2 Charizards. One of them, there was a kid, this was in like Gen 3, that we were like trying to trade cards, and he had a Torchic, and I was like, oh, I kind of want the Torchic, and he's like, oh, I want your Charizard. I'm like, I'm not trading my Charizard for Torchic. He stole it.
He stole it,
and then, yeah, he stole it. And then I saw him bragging to some girl on the bus about his cards. And I was like, that's not yours. And then I saw it. He gave it back to me. But the condition was he dropped it in mud then washed it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was actually really sad.
That is really sad.
That was what? How old were you then?
I was probably like in 3rd grade. So what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. 8.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody heard the story about my Chansey.
Oh, that story makes me so sad.
The Chansey that I pulled. I still have it. It's in a binder at home. Another one that I do remember that I still have is a first edition Machamp from the starter deck, base set Machamp. And I traded a Sandshrew for it to my neighbors. This is back in 99, 2000. I was 9 years old at the time. Yeah, and he was a really nice kid. He was like, you know, his parents just bought him, you know, probably the deck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, me, I probably inherited some cards from my siblings or whatever. So you know, we're playing outside after school, and he's like, "You want to trade?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll trade." And then ended up trading one of my Sandshrew for his Machamp. I mean, we were both happy with it, and it's still in my collection now. So
Nice.
right next to my beat up Chansey.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have all my cards from base set, Fossil, Jungle. Some of them are double sleeved, some of them are in slabs, and some of them
Sure.
are still in the old binder pages. The binder fell apart. I had the Pokédex one, the 3-ring Pokédex
I
one.
like that one. I have the one with Ash, Misty, and Brock on the
Ooh, that's
cover.
a good one.
That one's kind of falling apart,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Yeah, mine completely fell apart. It was taped together for a while, and I ended up getting rid of it because it was destroyed. But I still have all the cards just jammed into all the commons, all jammed in there. I picked out all the shadowless ones and picked out all the hollows and whatever, but all the energies and all the other commons are just stuck in the binder pages.
That's one funny thing is when I was a kid, I would like remember like how come some cards are different. They were the same cards, but the shade, the color was just a little off. And like fast forward 20 years, then I find out, oh, some were shadowless
Yeah.
and some weren't. And then going back through my collection, then I finally like separated them. Like, okay, these were shadowless. That's why their colors were a little off. These were, unlimited or whatever. And that's kind of how I figured it out. But I remember as a kid, like, how come some of these were different shade of red, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And not even realizing that there was a shadow or shadowless or anything like
It's just
that.
an error, though, right? They didn't do that on purpose, I don't think. Did they?
I think they did on purpose.
You think it is on purpose?
Yeah, because
to
the
differentiate?
they so it, like in originally the first edition base set didn't have a shadow, right?
Yeah.
And then they got rid of the first edition,
Oh.
right? And then they were just gonna print it all
I see.
shadowless, but somehow along the line they probably stopped and said, let's
Add the shadow.
Add the
let's
drop
edit
shadow.
a couple more things and
Okay.
then mass produce it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so the shadowless ones are all from the first printings.
Yes.
That's how it
Right,
works. Okay.
right.
I thought that it was just some of them
Because the
were
next set,
shadowless.
all first edition had borders.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know what I mean? There
Uh-huh.
wasn't no shadowless, like, jungle, fossil. They were first edition, but they had the border.
I see.
They weren't shadowless, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, so I think we all still have our cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and Beastmaster Max even sent a picture of his original cards.
Oh,
so
nice.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Put them on
cool.
the
What did
screen.
he have?
It's a Diglett and a Voltorb.
Oh,
Aw.
nice.
That like through the seed computer generated Diglett one from
Oh
base
yeah,
set.
the 3D one.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
3D
I've
one.
seen. I have that one too.
Yeah. And the last Ask Woody, Ask Goose phone question is from Hoovy and Hamster. It says, in honor of Pride Month, which Pokemon or Pokemon characters have the biggest LGBTQIA plus energy for you?
Go is gay.
Go.
Go is so gay.
Go is gay.
I've never even seen any character that is canonically gay act gayer than him, pushing and holding hands and being like, oh, I don't want to help him or anything. I don't know. He's cute.
I don't have a comment on this. I honestly I don't watch enough of the show or pay attention enough.
Or even a Pokemon.
Pokemon, I mean, let's see.
Just the vibe, he said, or they said just the energy, rather.
Or maybe like Slow King.
Oh.
Slow.
I feel like he seems
Slow.
a little gay.
Slow King.
I was
I'm
just
not
going to
sure.
say.
This is not one that really pops up. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I would say just somewhere in the in there is James. James is somewhere in there.
Yeah, James definitely.
Yeah. James is always my favorite.
They don't really give him a male ship though.
No ship, but just the
just the vibe he gives off.
Yeah, so theatrical anyways.
Right.
So you don't have to be gay to be theatrical, but he was always my
I made
favorite.
up a ship for James because there's not really any gay ships besides I guess Faba from Sun and Moon, but even that's very slight and it's not that good. But him and the Magikarp salesman that always scams him have this tension between them,
They do. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Nice. So yes, it is Pride Month. So happy Pride Month, everyone. And that is the end of episode 8 of the Pokeshop BST podcast. Thank you all for subscribing and liking the podcast. We have an official podcast tab now on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
That's a little tidbit at the end.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll work on getting them onto the other audio ones eventually, but for now we're just focusing just on YouTube.
Nice.
So thank you everyone to coming over to YouTube and subscribing for the podcast. And then we will see you in the next one.
Nice.
Bye bye.